doing.
How will Gordon's return affect the rotation lineup wise? Like who could possibly be in and out?
Well, tonight it won't really. He'll more play Melo's spot, So the minutes will be different because Melo plays big minutes. Gordon can't do that yet, but so it'll be just a little bit more. Terry can't play more than he's playing. I mean, he doesn't get a lot of break now anyway. But Jalen will play a little bit more. Dennis is ready to play a few more minutes, and we can ramp him up a little bit more. And then Bryce will play a few more minutes too.
I was going to ask, will Dennis start? I assume Melo's point guard spot, or how will you kind of figure that out?
Well, as long as Gordon can play, then we'll play because it gives us the best balance of subbing. We don't want to have Terry will start at the point, and then when Dennis comes in, you got to try to do the whole 48 minutes. So it's best for us to do Terry, Gordon, Jalen, PJ Mason, and then that way it makes it easier to keep at least one primary ball handler on the floor and enough best chance at offensive and defensive balance.
Coach, just stringing together 2 consecutive wins. I mean, I know it's tough in this league especially, but how important it is, how great it would be to be able to do that, especially on the road.
Yeah, and our travel's been tough. This is a tough 3 days here, 4 days, with this travel and this trip. But, what I like is the last 2 games, the second game against Boston, and then the other night was just the way we approached the second half, Both of those games down at half, and we came out and played really well in the first 5 minutes of the third quarter. So, again, though, tonight, so much of this is the first 12 minutes. I mean, they're scoring almost 37 points a game in the first quarter of their last 5 games. That's home and road. They played good teams, and you don't want to come in here and be down by 12 or 15 after the first quarter.
Coach, you've seen it all in your career. When you're handed a situation like this, halfway through, what's the biggest challenge for the guys?
Well, I've been through this, really as a head coach in Orlando. Our last year we did the rebuild, which was, I think to a certain degree like this. I mean, we traded our guys there, so that was different. But it was also driven by injuries to a certain degree. I went through this as an assistant in Houston one year when we lost both Tracy and Yao. And we went from, a 50-something win team to, I don't know what it was, 28, 29, 30, 31. And that was really difficult because the expectations of that, that team that we had, those were, we had huge expectations. I think that, the goal of, or your job as a coach is to maximize your roster, no matter, who plays. And what we haven't gotten to, regardless of who's playing, and definitely the injuries are part of it, but the guys know how I feel is, we haven't come up with a way to play yet so we play well consistently. If you want to take like the last 15 games, we had a stretch of 6 games where we were a top 10 defensive team and weren't as good offensively. Now we're in a stretch of like 8 games where our offense is really good and, we haven't defended as well. And to me, that's the trick. No matter how good you are, you guys, look at where you are now. It's going to be the team that makes the most progress with all those teams in the East that are bunched together. And then the other part for us is it's a great time of also evaluation, to see who fits together. We're getting a chance to look at some good younger players. So there's a lot that goes into it, but as much as anything, your job is to maximize the roster. Brendan Malone always used to say, regardless of how good your team is, you need to be the right coach for that team that night, and I think that's the best way to look at it.
All right, guys. Thank you.
Good?
Yeah.